Right then, Macca Beats, we are back with another podcast. Just a quick one, please remember to like, share, follow, subscribe on any of the content that you see. Macca, who have we got, mate?
Today's guest, Mike Newell.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming, mate.
Yeah,
appreciate you taking the time out.
Let's rewind a little bit where it all started.
Yeah, let's do it. So, Liverpool lad, from Liverpool, whereabouts?
Yeah, born in Penny Lane, believe it or not.
Yeah?
And grew up south end of Liverpool, Gattaca, Woolton. Went to school at Our Ladies of the Assumption and then St Francis Saviour's, which was a good school, to be fair.
Yeah.
It had great football pitches.
Yeah. Did you support Liverpool growing up, Mike?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still do. I don't...
Doesn't leave you.
Never leaves you,
Never leaves you, no.
It's not hard playing for Everton because obviously I was at... Not obviously, but I was at Liverpool as a kid from when I was 12 to 18 and then got released. Went and played for Crewe, Wigan, Luton, Leicester, and then Everton signed me. But you don't even think about it, you know what I mean?
No.
You like your loyalty or anything like that. It's
So how did it come about that you got... did you get scouted for Liverpool or was it like you were playing for school or...
Well, the school and St Michael's, which was the Sunday League team, down by the prom. John Bennison was the Liverpool scout, and he worked there obviously as well. And he just came along and said, "Come for a trial on Tuesday or Tuesdays and Thursdays." To be fair, they didn't say come and have a trial. They said come and do some training, to give you a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, even they were just clever people, sensible people, and I can't believe how many people work at a football club now compared to then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you knew every single person on that staff, and we trained Tuesdays and Thursday nights.
It's at Melwood, was it?
At Melwood, yeah.
And
on the Thursday, the likes of Ronnie Moran and Joe Fagan used to come because they'd have no fixtures on a Thursday. Right. Back in the day, it was either a Tuesday or Wednesday that they played midweek. So it was great when you know those sorts of people are turning up, and you'd meet like Bill Shankly and Bob Paisley. Amazing, on occasion, you know what I mean? And they took a real interest in the kids,
No, for sure. Yeah.
And obviously, if you're at Liverpool, that must have been like a dream come true. You must have been going to watch them next minute. You had an opportunity to play for them. Was it? Do you remember the buzz?
Yeah, but there were so many good kids in Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Anyone we know when you were there, like from 12 to like anyone who made it as well?
Well, the best players then were probably Tony Kelly, who played for... he went on and played for Wigan with me, and Bolton later on in the top division.
Yeah.
He was like the best. David Lowe played for Ipswich, Wigan as well, and Ipswich. Mark Seagraves, who played for a number of clubs, they were all my sort of age, or below or above my age. But they never threw a net over them like they do now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous, like taking kids in at 6 years old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were just talking about
let them enjoy it,
weren't we?
you know.
Oh, let them play with their mates in the street and their kids and their mates in school and all the rest of it. You know, they're afraid, and you can't judge a kid when he's 6 or 8 years old.
Building robots, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
But I always remember Bill Shankly saying, mothers and fathers make players, not coaches. And basically it's born into you. Do you know what I mean? You can't. Some of these coaches think you can train a kid to be a player, and you can't. You've got to have some ability inside you.
Well, when we kind of interviewed Norman, he didn't really have that full academy. He was just ready straight away.
Oh,
he moved
but he's a freak. No, he is. He was a freak, and he was like a man at 15, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, for sure.
And unfortunately, because he played for Northern Ireland in the World Cups and all the rest of it, by the time he got to 26, which was 10 years later, he was battered.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Survived another World Cup, and I've just seen that he's still got the record.
Yeah, he
this
loves the
year. No
record.
one can beat him this year. Youngest ever still.
So Liverpool come in for you, so obviously the top team around then, like would have been the top team in Europe, I'm guessing. So were there any other clubs coming in for you? Like were you on other clubs' radars while you were at Liverpool before Liverpool?
No. Well, as I was saying, they didn't throw a net over you. I played for my school, and the schools took priority back in them days.
Yeah.
So if you had a school game, you couldn't go train at Liverpool or whatever, or you couldn't play for Liverpool's A team or B team, which was basically 18s and under, you know. Yeah. By the way, the schools were well run. The school football was well run back in the day, and but they just snatched them out the schools now. So there is no school football, and for those ones who are maybe going to be late developers or something like that, they're playing football with non-footballers. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit unfair, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And were you always a striker, like when you even went to Liverpool?
No. I was. I used to play on the left wing when I was a kid, and then in midfield.
Yeah.
And it was only when I went to Crewe for a trial when I was 18, when I got released from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Okay.
They couldn't at 16. I put a few inches on it when I got towards 18. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they weren't sure about me at Liverpool at all, and I was never going to be one of those nailed on players.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That they know at 16. What they do now. Do you know what I mean? They put them in the first team now at 16, but I was never going to be one of them. Yeah. I was always a late developer. So at 18, they said, look, we can't offer you anything, but we can get you a trial at Crewe.
That's good.
And I went, I'll go there. Went for a trial at Crewe, played against Manchester United, believe it or not. Reserves the first night for Crewe reserves.
Who was the gaffer then? Was it Dario Gradi? Yeah.
And he signed me that night. He gave me a month's contract.
And that's where he played.
But I played up front for Crewe. And I'd never really played up front. I played up front in the school games and stuff like that. But
enjoy it though.
Playing up front?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I did, yeah.
A natural thing.
Yeah. It just rolled on. At the end of that month, he offered me another month.
Right.
And Wigan Athletic had been watching, and Harry McNally was the manager, and he offered me a year's contract.
Oh, that's
at
perfect.
Wigan, and I was like, it's that'll give me time
to develop.
Yeah,
because I was going to say Crewe was only short-lived, wasn't it? You weren't there like it was just a little.
It sounded like
literally a month.
They were going to. It sounded like a bit of a rolling on type of contract.
And Wigan offered a £10 a week more.
Oh, there you go. Then
no, it's nothing to do with the money. Do you know, £10 a week. That's the sort of money you were talking about. Then £50 a week at Crewe.
Yeah,
and £60 a week at Wigan. But you would have played for nothing.
Yeah, for sure. That's everyone says that.
And so was Wigan the old Division 4 then? Would they have been in, or Division 3?
Wigan were in the third division.
Third division, right?
Yeah, Crewe were in the fourth division.
Right. Okay. So it's a step up.
It was a step up, and it was obviously to give me the year, which was big, and then it was nearer as well to Liverpool.
Yeah,
and there was, as I was telling you about David Lowe. Alex Cribley, who was an ex-Liverpool player, he was at Wigan then, playing in the first team. Tony Kelly, we all shared a car, or shared my my mum's car, actually, and took turns on driving in. Do you know what I mean? So there was four of us, or sometimes five of us, in the car.
So Wigan, you had about 3 years there. You started getting your goal scoring.
Yeah.
Who were you playing up front with? Who was your partner at Wigan?
Well, there was a few. Paul Jewell was there.
Newell and Jewell up front.
Yeah,
Jewell. Yeah.
He come after us because he was the same school age as me, and he played a few games in their reserves. Julie, he was scoring goals and stuff. And then he came to Wigan just after me. And Graham Barrow was a midfielder, but he played up front a lot with me because he was a big fella and proper hard, back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, these looked after you, these people, do you know what I mean? I'm going ahead of myself now, but him and Mick Harford, but you didn't fear anybody, when they're playing alongside you.
Yeah, for sure. Nice to have them alongside.
Yeah, and they weren't dirty players or anything like that, but they just could look after themselves and you as well, you know what I mean? It's and you had to, back in them, there was no referees to look after you then. You got that, and you got people coming over the top. No VAR.
Yeah.
I don't know. They go down for anything nowadays.
You got away with a few cheeky ones back in the day as well, didn't you? You used to get away with
Did you give it back as well?
Oh, you have to.
You had to. But I would never say you went around going like this and fouling people. But I was talking about Harry McNally, and he used to. They called me Psycho. I don't know why they called me Psycho. I think it was something to do with the film, right? The
Psycho film.
The film, yeah. But they called me Psycho, and he used to say, "Psych, get your elbows up." That's what it was.
Just to protect yourself.
Protect yourself, yeah. Not so much to hit people with, but to
stop
if you get that. That's right, and. If they're going to edge you, they might have to edge that as well. And to be fair, I've always had pointy elbows, so it was not bad.
So at Wigan, good early part of your professional career.
Yeah.
I think your second season finished top goal scorer, EFL trophy or the old Johnson's Paint.
Yeah, Johnson's Paint.
Do you remember that?
It wasn't called the Johnson's Paint. It was called the. Oh, crikey!
I'll let you have this one, Mike.
No, I won't get this one. No, I'll get that later. I won't get it. No.
So good time, and then obviously you kind of getting your form. So there's going to be clubs looking at you probably at higher level, and this is when Luton came in for you, Luton Town. Obviously you managed them as well. Talk us through that move, and because you only went there for a season, what was it like? How did you feel? Someone spent money out for you as well.
Oh, that was big because I'd played. I had 19 goals, I think, for Wigan that season when they signed me, and it was around Christmas time. And I think they paid 85 going up to 125 or something like that. And it was the first division. Do you know what I mean? You're going to play against Liverpool and Everton, Manchester United. You're just like, wow. And you don't think you're going to go straight in the side, but I did. I went straight in the side.
Did you feel like a massive pressure, or was it?
No.
Was the level a massive step up?
Just like a big step, yeah.
When people ask you this, you're playing with
better players.
No disrespect to anybody who was at Crewe or Wigan before that, but you're playing with players at that level who can look after themselves and who are on the same sort of level. And that can only help you. So I had no fears or anything like that. We had a plastic pitch, which was awful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a real small ground, that wasn't it?
Yeah. But they were a great team. I mean, when you look back, Les Seeley was in goal.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Foster, Mal Donaghy, centre half, Tim Breaker, Rob Johnson, Ashley Grimes, left back,
players,
and then Ricky Hill, Brian Steen. They played for England at a later stage, and Mick Harford. He wasn't in. That's why I went in the team straight away. To be fair, Mick was injured with his knee. And then David Priest on the left, Peter Nicholas in the
solid team on it.
In the midfield.
Who's the manager? David Pleat, the manager. Then?
David Pleat was the manager.
What was he like?
He was all right. Yeah, good. Football mad.
Football
mad. Yeah, and always wanted you to play football. You know, outplay the team. Never. I mean, he had strong people around him. In the team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he wasn't stupid, but he wanted you to play football and outplay teams. Do you know what I mean? And
that's nice, isn't it? That's a style of football, yeah.
But you would have got to play at some great grounds. I bet you. Was it things like looking forward to match of the day and trying to see yourself and all that?
Well, you've gone from the third division to playing it Anfield and Goodison.
Dreams come true.
Old Trafford, Highbury, you know what I mean? White Hart Lane. It's just, it's
dreams, isn't it?
Yeah. And because I'd gone there with 19 goals and you're in form, I think I got 6 that season or something like that for Luton, the back end of that season. It carries on. The confidence is there. Do you know what I mean? The goals are still the same size, and it's.
Do you? Obviously, you've stepped up a few divisions. Did you do anything different on looking after yourself? Like, would you do extra training? Like, eat differently, less booze, things like that?
No, well, I didn't drink. Didn't drink at all. No, I didn't drink till I was 26, till I met Norman. So
Norm to
no, I'm not blaming Norm. It was I'd been at Everton for a good 12 or 18 months. By that time, when I was about 25, getting on to 26, and I thought, and it was Ian Snodden and Eddie Howds. We were in Dublin watching Ireland because we were at the end of season game, and Snods has just put this, what did he call it?
Guinness or something?
No. Couldn't start on the Guinness, no. Budweiser, but it was like, it's just cold and it was like lemonade, and I was thinking, what am I going to do here for 2 days if I don't have a drink or something like that. So it was the right time, and I never did it, like overdid it or anything like that. I'm glad that I waited till I was 25, 26. I never needed it. Do you know what I mean? I was just, I wanted to be a player, and you do everything that you should do. Do you know what I mean? Because I was never going to be nailed on, as I said. I was never. Was the Luton culture? Would they have a few beers after a game and all that? Did that exist? I'm guessing though. Oh yeah, I'd go out with them, but I just didn't drink. And then when the time was right, I just slip off. Do you know what I mean? And no one cared or knew. Do you know what I mean? But I'd still go out and celebrate, and the Christmas parties and all the rest of it. Yeah. But it's just it's in there. You've got to have it in there. Do you know what I mean? No, I don't need that.
Yeah, of course.
Because as I said, I wasn't that good to. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these lads could just turn it on and off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So good. Just the one season at this point at Luton, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
So when you went to Luton, you just had the one season there before moving to Leicester? No. Was it a couple of years?
No, I had the half a season, because I went there Christmas time, and then I had a full season. I played every game, started every game the next year, which to this day is probably one of my best achievements. 42 games
for sure.
On starting, Mick was out for a long time with injury.
Sorry, Mike. Just quick one. Is the noise all right, Joe? Just quick one. We're actually filming in the Robot Boozer, and they've got the delivery, so if you can hear the barrels, that's what it is. Just as we're talking about booze as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of good seasons at Luton, and then Leicester come calling. Did you want to leave Luton? Was it to do with Luton wanting to get rid of you, or what was the Leicester move? How did it come about?
I think Luton was a club that had to make money. They had to sell players every now and again, and Ray Arthur had just taken over as manager from John Moore.
Right.
I'd played every game that season for Luton. Started every game, 42 games, which is like one of the best things I could say, you know what I mean? Because you play with injuries back in the day and ankles strapped up and all that, particularly on that AstroTurf, there's plenty of that.
Because you were leading scorer, weren't you, there, Mike?
13 I think I had. Me and Steenie, Brian Steen, I think he had 13 as well. Mick hadn't played a lot that season because he was injured with his knee. And I think they had to make money.
Right.
Because they paid a good fee for you as well, didn't they, Leicester? I think.
Was it 300? 350? Yeah, 350 or something like that. Brian Hamilton had played under him at Wigan after Harry McNally, so he knew me. And although they were a division below, you could see that they wanted to go somewhere, and it's a big club, Leicester. And the facilities were fantastic, the training facilities and all that. So
Who was at Leicester? Who would be the notable players there at that time?
Steve Walsh,
Gary McAllister there,
Paul Cooper, Gary McAllister was there. Yeah. Ali Moughlan, who was a Scottish lad as well. There was a few good players. Obviously, everyone was looking at McAllister at the time, and he was definitely going to be.
Could see it then.
Yeah, you could see he was a good player.
How was like all the travelling, and then like, did you mind moving or did you have like?
It was like that was part of the job.
You didn't mind it?
No, and I bought a house in Northampton when I went down to Luton.
Yeah,
because it was half an hour north of Luton, so if I was going back home, you know, I was closer, and more so for my missus or the children or whatever, you know.
Around this time, so obviously you've gone to Wigan, Luton, Leicester, and then we'll talk about Everton. Were you with your missus then?
Yeah.
And just following you out? So that helped
I've been
moving.
with my missus since I was like 16, 17, at the cricket club, Liverpool Cricket Club. She worked behind the bar. Was
there a time where she said, right, enough's enough, no, we're not moving anymore?
Oh, no.
She was happy to just...
yeah, well, she knew that was part of the job, yeah. But we lived in Northampton, and Leicester was half an hour north of that, up the M1. So we just stayed where we were in Northampton. Ideal. And I didn't mind driving in. Yeah, you'd go through the back lanes, you would no traffic back in them days, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you'd still be first in for training. So that was never an issue. It was,
And then, obviously, Leicester, I'm guessing you enjoyed it there, good facilities. The old Filbert Street would have been the ground.
That's right, yeah.
I think, obviously, we're going to talk about another move, probably the biggest move so far in your career. Everton come in. Big club, especially around that time. I think they were probably league champions 2 or 3 years before you signed for them. I think...
Big money as well.
Big fee, wasn't it? About 1.1, was it?
1.1.
Oh, yeah. 1.1 million, yeah.
How...
was it 1.1 million? It was 1.1 million, I think, yeah. So that's right. Yeah.
First initial feelings, how do you get told at Leicester that you're going to Everton or Everton in what's that experience? It
was Colin Harvey rang, so they'd obviously given him my number. Yeah. And Colin Harvey rang my house in Northampton because you didn't have any mobile phones in them days, yeah. And he said, Mike, it's Colin Harvey. So I knew exactly what he was going to say because I'd never spoken to Colin Harvey in my life before. But I knew who he was. And he said, do you want to play for Everton? And I said, yeah, just straight away. This was previous to that, Ron Yates, who was the chief scout at Liverpool, had sort of contacted me through my dad and said, and obviously I was Liverpool nut as a kid, tell him to stay by the phone. And I'd never left the house, do you know what I mean? Because but they signed Rush back from Juventus. Right. Yeah. And I thought straight away, that's the end of that, do you know what I mean? Because there wasn't 11 subs in them days or a couple 12, 15, 30 players there. Yeah. So Colin Harvey rang, and I knew immediately what it was. I just said yeah, and within 5 or 6 hours, I'd signed. Like driven up to Northampton, driven from Northampton up to Liverpool, picked my dad up, gone to Belfield to meet them, and then gone to Goodison Park
just like that.
To sign. No agents involved.
I was just going to say, was your dad kind of like your confidant sort of?
Well, yeah. Obviously, he worked at Ford's back in the day, and he was a sensible fella. You know what I mean? So he was, and he's on your side. So, but Everton's the type of club that are never gonna do anything out of order or anything like that. They're never going to take advantage to you. There's the wages. There's where you're going to stay for now. You know what I mean? We'll look after you, and they did.
Great
club, proper club. Well, it was old fashioned club, back in, and all they were all like that. The big clubs, Liverpool, Everton, Arsenal, Tottenham. You know what I mean? They looked after you.
So obviously Everton, big club. I'm guessing pure professionalism. There's no, oh, it's not Liverpool. There was no feeling because you were a Liverpool fan. It was just, this is a great move.
Absolutely. And they were a good side.
They were a good side. Yeah.
Who would have been there then?
Oh, they still had Southall, Ratcliffe, Watson, Snodin, Sheedy, Graham Sharp.
Yeah.
Graham Sharp. No, Cotty had signed it the year before.
Has he signed the year before?
He'd signed the year before.
Norman would have been there, wouldn't he? Norman.
Norman signed the same time as me.
Right.
So Colin had signed him, or signed him the same time.
Yeah.
And Martin Keown the same.
Some serious players there.
Time.
Martin,
yeah. And it was professional, proper. Everything was done for you. You know what I mean? We went on a 3-week trip because with NEC were their sponsors. We went 3 weeks.
Remember the old school kit?
3-week trip to Japan, China, and Malaysia. That was our pre-season.
Who did you have to room with? Did you have to room with anyone back then?
Martin Keown.
Oh, you got Martin, did you?
Yeah, I got Martin, yeah, that was... Martin, he's obviously a nice lad, Martin, but for a couple of months, he wasn't playing, because Dave Watson and Kevin Ratcliffe was there, so he was... And he wasn't even on the bench because he only 2 subs back in the day, so... it was frustrating for him, but it's a long time rooming with somebody for 3 weeks, never mind whatever. So Martin used to phone his wife, phone his bank manager, phone his estate agent, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm tossing and turning. Trying to get sleep, before the games or in the afternoons and that. And anyway, I was like, I just snapped in the end. Not with Martin, but I went to Terry Dalglish. I went, Terry, I want to move. And Terry was like, what? Because this is only like 2-3 months into it. I said, I've got to get me out that room. Anyway, Terry just went, consider it done like that, straight away, done, yeah.
Did Martin say anything when did he understand?
I don't know. I just to this day, I don't know whether he understood or ever. But the funny thing was, he put me in a room with Neville Southall.
All right.
Yeah, and then Neville. Oh, he was brilliant. Baby, he knew that I liked the kip, and I never used to sleep. He was up with the papers at 7:00, but he'd get the papers and go in the bathroom and read the papers in the bathroom. And this is whereas I had a kip. And this is like the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, at the time.
He really was.
He really was.
The world.
He's up there,
Oh, absolute legend. Legend.
Yeah. I'm just going to go read the paper in the toilet.
Fair play. So Everton, obviously, did you notice kind of more attention because it's Everton, big fan base? I'm guessing you had your salaries and everything's gone up at Everton. Did you notice that immediately?
Yeah, money was never an issue ever in my career. Do you know what I mean?
Did you feel an expectation though, Mike, like because of the fee and that as well, that you had to just be on it? And
they'd paid $2 million for Tony Cottee the year before, so and they had great players there, Graham Sharp and all the rest of it already. So as I was saying to you before, when you're in a side with good players, it helps you. It develops you. And you've got to have that belief in yourself that you can do it. And thankfully we started really well, scoring goals, playing up front with Graham Sharp, who was a good, really good player and a good player to play up front with. So I started, scored goals, got in the England squad. It was it was a good few months until Christmas time when I done my knee, and then it was torture after that.
Got your first bad injury then?
I was out for about 2 or 3 months. Yeah,
so it really impacted your momentum. I'm guessing
it did. Yeah, and to be fair to Bobby Robson, he kept me in the squad, the England squad. It was 1989-90, so it was going to the World Cup in Italy. And obviously, you're concentrating on your Everton career, but in the back of your mind, everyone wants to go to Italy for the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? So it was close, but it wasn't meant to be. But
you still experienced being around the camp, did you?
England. With England? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And people like Brian Robson, who, was the captain at the time, and Bobby Robson himself, he was a fantastic fella.
Was Gazza there then?
Gazza.
What was he like, just to be around?
Genius. But anybody who's played with him will tell you he was the best. He was the best in the world.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you got like Pele, Maradona, Cruyff. They're always at the time, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about
over history.
Who's the best players at the time? You can only have one best player in the world, and when he was at his peak, he was the best. Yeah, that's why Lazio signed him. Yeah. But a lunatic as well, a lovely lunatic. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He would have you crying, laughing. You know what I mean? All that time you've got in the afternoons.
Needed someone like him to just kill the time and keep us all
but he'd come in for a game of cards, and you couldn't play the cards because you were just crying, laughing. With the stuff that he would do and the stuff that he would come out with. Yeah.
You hear some stories, don't you?
Yeah, he's a remarkable fella.
But what a player! What a player! Vision and
talent.
Talent and effortless.
So around that time, then, if you're England were kind of sniffing around, you would have been up then against the likes of, or to pair with the likes of Lineker, Steve Bull, Beardsley. Am I missing anyone there?
Lineker and Beardsley, yet. Steve Bull went in my place, to be fair, to the World Cup. And Steve I don't think Steve ever played in the top division, because Wolves were in the
old division,
the old second division at the time. And but Bobby Robson was brilliant with me. Honestly, God, he said, "Mike, I'm gonna take Steve." He said, because he won't be starting, but if we're thinking about putting a player on to get us a goal, he's got like 20, 30 already. You know what I mean? And he's going, and he didn't have to explain that to me, Bobby Robson, but that's the type of fella he was.
Great bloke he seemed, actually, from what everyone says.
Absolutely, yeah. So Steve went, but Steve wouldn't have played in the World Cup. No.
Had you come to terms with that you weren't going, or was it a bit of were you gutted?
I was gutted, but it's football. That's the ups and downs, and injuries. It's terrible when you're out injured and you've got to watch, or you miss a big game or something like that. But that's part of the job. It's just it's something that you have to deal with, and if you can't deal with that, you're not going to be a player.
It's part of the game, isn't it? We'll come back to England in a bit, because obviously I know you had a great season at Blackburn. Just before we sort of come on to your next move, Howard Kendall came in at some point whilst you were already at Everton. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
How was he as a gaffer? Because he's really brilliant. Thought of it in that.
Brilliant, yeah, brilliant. And he was very popular with the lads who'd been there before. And Colin stayed and went back to first team coach, which is basically what Colin wanted to do. I'm not sure Colin liked the attention that the manager's job brings. Do you know what I'm saying? He was great, a great coach, and Everton mad. Yeah. And I think he was happy for Howard to come back, to be quite honest. And there was no chance that he wasn't going to stay.
Did you have a favourite manager that you played under, Mike?
Well, there's Kenny Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish is like... I'm biased because he was my favourite player as a kid. Yeah, so for sure. But I mean, Howard was good. Howard was really good with me. And even when he sold me to Blackburn, well, he didn't sell me. He said Blackburn are interested in you. Don Mackay was the manager. Jack Walker had just put all the money in, and I was third choice, I think, after Lineker. This is for Blackburn. Third choice after Lineker, Sheringham. They both turned them down. I went to speak to him, and believe it or not, never mentioned money or a penny, not a penny. And I just didn't see it happening. No disrespect to Don Mackay, I just didn't, and I didn't want to drop down again like I'd done from Luton to Leicester. To drop down a division. So especially from Everton, you know, which is a big club. And then October, November, Dalglish took over at Ewood Park, and I got a phone call, and even my wife, who didn't care about football really, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. She said you go in.
no, she was not. That's what I was saying, it was nothing to do with football, but she was all excited when he said hello, it's Kenny Dalglish, because she knew he was a big, well, I was a big fan of his, you know what I mean?
So he's a pull for you, isn't he?
Oh, I would not have gone to Blackburn if it hadn't been for Kenny Dalglish. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you went there, could you feel that this, with Jack Walker's millions, could you feel this club is going to that stage? Like, the great side, players being signed.
Not with Jack Walker's millions. That was obviously what made it possible. You can't just get a club like Blackburn in the second division who've been banging on the door for a long time. You need them. You need the money, but you also need to spend it wisely, and that's what Kenny did. The best thing Kenny did, in my opinion, was he didn't discard anybody who was already there. And then later on, people like Jason Wilcox, David May, people who were already there on the books, they got their chance, and he gave them all a chance. Mark Atkins, who was brilliant, engine, middle and midfield. The year we won the Premier League, he played virtually every game, you know what I mean? So they were all there when Kenny came in, and he made sure he didn't just, you know, open the door and say, like, you lads have got no chance. He'd give them all a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I associate you with Blackburn. Would you agree with that? I think most people.
Yeah, Everton and Blackburn, yeah.
Yeah, Everton and Blackburn. But do Blackburn have a special place in your heart, or still for that period?
Oh, yeah, because I think that was the peak of my career, you know what I mean? And back in the day, you know, they used to say you reach your peak when you're 27, 28. I think it's far earlier now, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because they're starting at 8, 6, 7, 8, you know what I mean? But I because I hadn't developed till I was 18. I mean, if you look at the you know, highlights or anything like that, I was still skinny. And when I went to Blackburn, I think when I was 28, 29, that's when I was at me peak. Yeah. That's when I filled out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you get more experience, obviously.
You came to Blackburn though that first season, 91, 92. That you were the kind of the main man up front, weren't you? You would be the main man for them, weren't you?
Well, I'd come in. 91. Yeah. David Speedy was there, and Speedy was a good player. You know what I mean? Good goal scorer. And for a little man, brilliant in the air and everything, and would upset people. Do you know what I mean? He was like that on the pitch, and he was a handful. So I was playing up front with him. Simon Garner, also he was in and out of the team. Who was a legend at Blackburn. You know, legend goal scorer. I've said it before, but you can't. How can he manage that squad? Do you know what I mean? He's got to deal with all the lads who might not be going into the Premier League if you get into it. Yeah. He's got to leave people out. He's got to buy players. It must have been hard. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And people think just because there was a checkbook there. Yeah. It's easy. And how many clubs have tried it since. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy. He's a wise fella, and he you know, Jack Walker made it possible, but not without Dalglish.
Really.
But you did the job that was set out. You got promoted to the Premiership, so the first playoff into the newly formed Premiership, score the winning goal, winning pen. How was that an amazing experience?
Oh God, yeah, it was boiling that day at Wembley, boiling, and the pressure was on us. Do you know what I mean? I mean, at Leicester, we were playing Leicester, who had previously played for, but they were a big club, Leicester, and the pressure was on us because of the money that Kenny had spent, or the money that Jack Walker had spent, and we'd stuttered. You know, before that, we'd been running away with the league a little bit, and we'd stuttered, gone, and we had to go through the playoffs, which wasn't easy. Scored the penalty and then missed one just before the end. Could have made it a little bit easier for the last 10 minutes or so, you know what I mean?
Make it interesting.
Yeah, made it interesting, so we got there. Yeah. We got there, and that's all they wanted, really, to get in. But you could never have expected what was going to come after that, you know.
And in a way, it's kind of like the way Blackburn kind of won the league so far. It's a bit like a Leicester when they won it, if you think about it, the way they were Division 1 or Championship a couple of seasons before.
That's the only team I can think of that I can compare it to.
Yeah. So then obviously 92-93, which is probably still my favourite ever season. This old man got Player of the Year. Did you notice anything different with the TV, more games, like on the pitch or anything? Was anything different to you? The fact that the Premiership was
the first Premier League.
And what was different, if anything?
Well, you had all them dancers, didn't you? Oh, you did. And they're coming out there, and you're like, what's going on here? Dancing on the pitch before it was a great time to be at Blackburn, and it was a great time to be at the top level, to be honest, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger as it went on. Mm-hmm. But I think there's the television people have got too much power now. Do you know what I mean? They're controlling everything, and it was fun back in the day, but and it was obviously a fantastic time to be at Blackburn, whether you were a player or a fan or on the staff or anything like that, because it was just continually
a really good season for Blackburn that year. I think come fourth. Obviously, would you say that was your best season of your career at the top level?
Well, maybe. I think I scored 20 odd goals or something like that. It included the cups and that. Yeah, and we got to the semi-final of the League Cup and got knocked out by Sheffield Wednesday over 2 legs, and we got to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, got knocked out by Sheffield United. So, and then finished fourth in the league. It was good. It was good, and I played a lot of games. That and
because I'd say from my personal opinion, some of the goals you scored that year were unbelievable. But obviously Shearer was signed that year, so you had a bit of a partnership with him. I think they signed Kevin Gallagher as well in the Jan.
Well, Shearer got injured. That's why Shearer done his knee. Yeah. Just
for a couple of questions here on Shearer, how good was he?
Oh, phenomenal. It took a bit of a time for him to settle down. I mean, he was 3 million, was it, from Southampton? We went to Scotland pre-season and then went on to Ireland, and we were looking at one another. To be fair, you know, the lads who'd already been there when he was in Scotland, he was never the fittest. When I say fittest, he wasn't an athlete. He was solid and he was powerful. But he wasn't one for pre-season or doing long runs or anything. Because he was heavy, you know. He was heavy set, a little bit like Norman. Do you know what I mean? Like proper strong lad.
The old man said that, didn't he? He said he's strong, Shearer, just like
he shrugged people off and all that. And anyway, we played 3 games up in Scotland and didn't really see much. Then a couple of games in Ireland, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm starting to see it now.
Yeah,
and then
sparking.
Bang, first game, Crystal Palace, 2 worldies.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And we're all looking at one another. You know, when he scored the 2 goals at Crystal Palace, and we're like, oh yeah.
Did you like playing with him? Did it work for you, that partnership?
Yeah. It's what I was saying, when you're playing with good players, it helps you.
Did you have a favourite partnership with anyone, Mike?
Well, I think, I played up front with I told you when I was at Wigan, I played up front with Graham Barrow, and having a big fella up front with you, it really helps. Big, powerful. Then Mick Harford at Luton, and then Sharpie at Everton, and it's. But then you get Shearer, and if you give him the ball, we worked out after not too long. Just give him it. If he's in front of you or he's in a better position than you, give him it, because he hits the target. You know what I mean?
But he got injured in the January, didn't he? Did his knee?
Yeah.
Would you say kind of? I don't want to say you carried them, but you scored quite a few important games for that. You kind of towed the line, so to speak.
No, well, I just think we were playing well, and we carried on playing well, and we signed Kevin Gallagher.
Yeah, good player.
Really good player.
Good feet.
And another unselfish one, you know what I mean, who'd make goals for you, and Graham Lasso at the same time. So we carried on. With confidence. That season, it was a solid team with players who just do their job. You know what I mean?
Building like a.
Did England not come calling around this time?
Who was manager then?
Would have been Graham Taylor.
Graham Taylor, yeah. I think Graham Taylor made a couple of inquiries. To be honest, you'd have to ask Kenny that. Because Kenny doesn't tell you anything. But I think he made a few phone calls. Yeah. But. I think I've missed the Everton. I'd missed the England thing when I was at Everton, and it wasn't meant to be. To be quite honest, so it was. I wasn't too bothered about that, you know.
Okay, so second season, Blackburn. We'd have to talk about that winner against Liverpool. 1-0 at Anfield. That's what I was going to say. I think. Was that your favourite goal? Because that's what I guessed. You said that one.
Yeah, I said it was a good goal. I was tidy, hard volley.
How did that feel, scoring at Anfield, the winner? Obviously, the side you support, the side that let you go. What emotions, what feelings you have?
Well, it's the best day ever, and the best thing about it was it finished 1-0. To be honest, you know, we would have liked to have. You would always like to have scored more goals or beaten them by more, but the fact that it was 1-0, I think just topped it off. You never have envisaged scoring a winner at Anfield against Liverpool. You know, I'd been lucky because I'd obviously played and scored against Liverpool before. I'd scored hat-trick when I was playing for Luton against them, and that was a good day, and then scored a goal against them in the FA Cup when we beat them 3-0.
Enjoyed playing against them then,
I think it brings the best out in you, just because it's the team that you supported and you want to do well, and do you know what I mean?
You scored all types of goals, like left foot, right foot, header, and because you'd expect a professional football when we were growing up, you got to be both footed. I mean, is that necessarily the same now? What was your preferred foot? I don't know.
I was right-footed, but
the Liverpool goal was left foot. Beautiful slap.
No, from a kid, my dad used to always say he had a lethal left foot. My dad used to go on about his lethal left foot because he was a decent player as well. Never made it to professional, but semi-professional, and. He'd go on about his lethal left foot, and you could practice your left foot. And I did. I used to just kick it up against the wall and back, you know, in the street, so that I could play with both feet. So
look nice lefties, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, Sheedy. I've never seen him pass it with his right foot, but he was one of the best players I've ever played with, Kevin Sheedy, and he was. he could drop it on a sixpence from 40, 50 yards. Do you know what I mean? And Liam Brady.
What a player.
A lot of players rate him, don't they?
Oh, yeah, Liam Brady, yeah. That was one of the best things for me, playing against all those players that I grew up watching, you know, like Ray Clemence. He was at Tottenham at the time, but then you play against them. And
like, wow.
And Liam Brady, as I said, I played against Arsenal when he was still playing. And Glenn Hoddle. You can't believe that you're on the same pitch as them. You know, it's like a dream. Do you know what I mean? But it's what you wanted, and it's why you did all the hard work. You know what I mean? Because as I said, I was never going to be guaranteed, you know, top level or anything like that.
Speaking of that, obviously, if we jump up to the season Blackburn won the league, obviously they signed Chris Sutton this year. How did you feel about that? Because he's a centre forward, it's going to be more competition.
Well, I know they're going to keep signing players, and they had to. Kevin Gallagher had got injured, so they had to sign another player. So I wasn't too bothered that, and I was injured myself when they signed him with me knee, and I didn't come back till the September-ish.
Was it the same issue with your knee?
Yeah, it was always the same issue. Yeah, it was from a kid. It was like splayed, you know, me right knee. So, and Liverpool actually said when I was a kid, you know, what has he got a problem with because when you're a skinny kid, it sort of sticks out more, you know what I mean? And that's why I was practicing with my left foot all the time, you know. But no, it was a niggling one, and I had to have an operation and then go and have another operation because I come back too soon, because you want to be in there. So
how was the Championship winning that? Was that
brilliant, and to win it at Anfield as well. No, you couldn't write it, could you? No. With Kenny being a manager, you just couldn't write it, and going to the last day. Man United at West Ham. It was scary. It was.
Do you remember what you did that night when you won it? Did you go out
to Preston? Did you? Believe it or not, deliberately we didn't go into Blackburn because it would have been would have been crazy. But we hadn't planned anything because we didn't want to put the mockers
on. Did they do the old parade or anything later on? Did they?
I think that was the day after.
Was it?
Yeah.
Have you still got your medal?
The day after. I have. I don't even know where it is, you know. I swear to God, I don't even know where it is. It's in the house somewhere, but I don't know where it is. No.
Incredible achievement. And that obviously kind of gave you your avenue into Europe. But obviously, when you went into Europe, didn't qualify through that group. What do you think the reason for that was? Just inexperience in Europe?
We didn't win enough games.
Pretty quick hat-trick in there, though, wasn't there?
Yes, the fastest hat-tricks ever.
Yeah, Rosenborg, yeah.
It was, yeah.
In 9 minutes.
9 minutes, hat-trick.
It's a bit flat because we didn't get through. And we knew we couldn't get through before that game. So it's nice to score.
But was it just different styles of play, like against the other European teams? Like, why didn't it kick on?
I don't know really. There was CSK Moscow, wasn't it? Rosenborg. I wanted to go to Barcelona and Real Madrid. If you're going to get knocked out,
to experience,
go and play against, at least you can say you played against Barcelona and Real Madrid or something like that, or Inter Milan or something, you know. But we, they weren't massive clubs. They were good teams that we played against. Solid teams. But it was frustrating. It was a frustrating year. But Kenny had stepped back.
I was just going to ask you about that. What are your opinions on him not defending the title as a manager? Like, did you think it was the right decision?
You'd have to ask Kenny that. I haven't got a clue. Kenny to this day wouldn't. I don't know whether but
it's like send shivers in the changing room. Him saying he's not going to leave. Was it a bit of a shock?
Well, he never said he was going to leave. He sort of stepped down from the manager job, and I don't know why. And you'd have to, and I'm not going to speculate, but you'd have to ask Kenny that. But it was Ray Harford did the manager's job, and I'd had Ray as a manager at Luton previous.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer, no disrespect to Ray, because he was a fantastic coach, but I'm a firm believer, like I said about Colin Harvey, that you're either one or the other. The manager's job is totally different. And that I always wanted to be a manager, and never ever wanted to be a coach, to be quite honest, because they are different jobs, and you've got to deal with players, and you've got to pick the side and believe in yourself and all the rest of it. It's a different job. So I'm not having a go at Ray, but we, Kenny Dalglish had done a phenomenal job.
Building what he built,
Oh yeah, and it was a shock to us. It was a surprise to us.
Yeah, but it was. So, time to leave Blackburn now. Birmingham. Was that for first team football, for a fee? Do you know why you?
Trevor Francis was keen to sign me. I knew I was like not over the hill, but there comes a stage where you've reached your peak. And
did you ever want to move and try playing abroad or anything? Like, was there any opportunity to do that?
Funny, Bobby Robson. Sorry, I met him on a golf day one day,
right? And
he said, I nearly signed you last couple of years ago. Like that. And I said, the first thing I said was, please don't tell me it was when you were at Barcelona. But it was when he was at Porto. Was he a manager at Porto? It was one of the Portuguese clubs, wasn't he? It was when he was at one of them. Yeah.
Would you have fancied a little?
I think so. Yeah. And I'm not a sun worshipper or anything like that, but
just from an experience.
Yeah, an experience playing abroad and that,
But when you went to Birmingham, you did 2 loan moves within that season, didn't you? You went to West Ham for a bit.
Yeah.
And Bradford. If they've just signed you, why are you then going out on loan?
It was just frustrating. It was, I was in and out the team, and I'm not having a go at Trevor, but Trevor, as the manager, Trevor was, he used to say things like, oh, well, this is what we did at Notts Forest. And it was really, really ancient sort of thing. Brian Clough, and we never trained back in the day. And I had to train because I had to feel fit on the, Friday or a Saturday. And I was going down there, and obviously, as we said before about moving your family, at this time we had 4 children, and it was a big move to go and travel back and forth from Birmingham. So I was staying down there all week, and we weren't training, and I was like, what am I doing? I've got to train. And I said to Trevor, I need to be fit, and I need to train on a Friday and a Thursday and all that. And he said, when we were at Notts Forest, he said, we hardly ever trained. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute, you're talking like 1970s here. And
moved on a little bit.
And the other thing was, you were playing an awful lot of games midweek, in European Cups, FA Cups.
Keeping you ticking over.
And none of them trained then. They just, in between games, they'd come in for breakfast or something like that. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. The game had changed by then, and I wasn't feeling fit, and I wasn't feeling confident, and I'm thinking, well, what am I doing staying in Birmingham? When we're not training, so it was frustrating. It was very frustrating, and I'm not blaming Trevor at all, because he had to manage the team but it was never. It never really worked, you know.
Yeah, well, Cutwell got to play under Harry Redknapp for that loan, and was it Chris Cremara at Bradford? Was he even manager? So a couple of good lads for banter for managers, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It was a tough 6 weeks I had at West Ham because there was a lot of players there and a lot of foreigners there and a lot of players coming in and whatever. And I was even further away from Birmingham. But I played. Yeah. I played, so...
and that's back in the Prem, that, isn't it?
Sorry?
Back playing in the Premiership.
Yeah, that was back in the Premiership. But that was getting harder and harder because I was getting older, and there's people coming into the Premier League, you know, and you're playing against Arsenal and stuff like that, and there's... Like, they had some proper players then. And
it was getting more and more professional, wasn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say professional because we were pretty professional at...
but I mean, like, for example, the style, like Arsenal style of eating, all them types of things were coming in.
Well, a lot of people go on about that, Arsene Wenger and all that he changed the culture. He had to change the culture at Arsenal because, you know, there was a big drinking culture there, you know, with... a lot of the lads, I don't need to name them, a lot of the lads were big drinkers, but Kenny had done that at Blackburn when he came to Blackburn. He brought fitness coaches in. He'd have us eating after training, which was you know, I have to say Everton did that as well, to be fair. They were they were just a proper club, Everton. And they would put food on for you. But Blackburn did it. So, you know, the game was moving on, and you were it was becoming more athletic. You couldn't get away with not training, and this was the issue that I had with Trevor at Birmingham. I can't just not train all week, and why am I down here? You know what I mean? It's so it's it was frustrating. That was a frustrating year, real frustrating year for me, and I ended up going to Aberdeen.
Yeah, just quickly on Aberdeen. What did you? No disrespect to the Scottish football. Did you feel a drop in level, or was it from English Premiership?
Oh well, you can't compare with the top level of Scottish football with, and they had good players.
Did you feel that though? Did you notice
it was Celtic and Rangers had real good players and good foreign players and all the rest of it, and it was a fantastic standard. Yeah. But you couldn't compare it with the Premier League at the time.
Did you know you're getting close to like retiring from the game now? Was that?
You're going down. I mean,
there wasn't a specific time where you thought enough's enough now. Like I'm done. You just wanted to keep going as long as you could. And
well, that's the problem I had at Birmingham. I wanted to keep training, and it wasn't the training wasn't about. And Trevor was saying, "Well, we've got a fitness coach there. You can go and he'll train you all you want," and that's not the same. It has to be football related. But going to Aberdeen, Roy Aitken, he was good for me, and I got the appetite back, and there was some good lads there. We'd play golf on a Tuesday afternoon after training if we were off on the Wednesday, then back in Thursday, Friday, bang, Saturday game. It was a great place to be, Aberdeen, and the kids were in a good school. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
It was, and you can't go up and down to Aberdeen. You have to be there. You know what I mean? You know how far it is. So we settled up there. We moved up there, and it makes a hell of a difference, you know.
You're now retired from playing, Mike. Did you always look at going down into that route, into management?
Yeah, I'd always looked at that from before I was a player. I'd looked up to people like Shankly and Paisley who had met, and I wanted to be a player, obviously, but I knew I wanted to be a manager as well.
Appealed as well.
It
was appealing,
So I was lucky I got an opportunity at Hartlepool and took over a decent side. When I say decent side, they were like top of the league.
Promotion.
We got promoted, which is not easy in itself. It seems easy. I mean, we had some great lads there and some good players, and we didn't ask too much of them. We just if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, that sort of thing. I took Kevin Sheedy with me, who's really wise, and football brain. You know what I mean, and a good coach. And I think the lads enjoyed the training under him and just carried on. So we got there. Unfortunately, we didn't win the league, which was disappointing for us. But we got up,
And obviously, you beat longest stint as a manager was at Luton. Played there. As a manager, is it a lot on your plate? Stressful? Like, what's the difference from playing? So sorry.
Yeah, it is, because you're basically looking after everyone's problems, aren't you?
Different pressure as well.
It's a different pressure, but again, there was great players and good players that I took over at Luton, and once you were in control, and that's a hard thing in itself when you take over from another manager. You know that. I wouldn't say suspicious. They're wary of you, and you have to gain their trust. And you know, I think I did that. It was a strange time because we were in administration, which was not like not.
Can you feel that happening, or do you just get on with your job?
Feel what happened?
Like the club going into administration, like does that creep into the changing room at all?
Yeah, well, a little bit, because there's so many things that you can't have and you can't do. But once you know what you can't have and what you can have, then you just get on with it. Excuse me, you couldn't sign any players, and you couldn't sign not even lads who were coming through at 18 and whatever, which I felt that wasn't right. And there was one lad, Kevin Foley, who was like, as soon as I got there, I thought, why is he not playing?
Right.
So I made a point of challenging that, and we were able to sign him. Right. Which was a good thing for him and for us. And I enjoyed my job at Luton, really did. It helped because I'd played there before and I knew the area and I knew people. And there was still Brian Steen there, and Mick Harford. And I really enjoyed that 3 or 4 years, whatever it was. It was good times, And the players, once you've got their trust, and they play for you, you know what I mean? And then we had some good players,
Great. Was it during this time? I know we had a quick catch up about, if you're happy to discuss kind of like that corruption. Like offered bribes, bungs. Can you just like explain that to us, please?
I don't know whether I can explain it. Obviously, it goes on. It goes on, and the more the agents were getting involved, and the more agents that were involved in the game, the more it will go on. And nobody's going to tell me that it's not going on now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's when I got sacked at Luton. The FA then intervened, which was too late for me. They intervened and gave out 3-4 year bans to 4 directors of Luton, but that's too late for me then. So, and that puts other clubs off. You know what I'm saying? And there are stray clubs, as I told you. Back in the day, certainly, that I played for Blackburn and Everton and whatever, Leicester. I find it very strange that the television companies are now in control, do you know, and the agents are in control. And some of these agents are billionaires, do you know what I mean? And it doesn't suit them to have a player at a club for any longer than 2 or 3 years. Do you know what I mean? That's because they're not making any money out of that.
Did you get any flack for when you made a statement about that?
Off who?
Anyone? Like
no, I think that everybody basically. Well, you can't argue with it. No,
you're saying what people are thinking.
If it had been wrong, the Football Association would have charged me with stepped in. So I'm not wrong. Well, I know I'm not wrong.
No.
It ruined me managerial career without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether, because you don't know what sort of pressure or stress you're under, and I don't know whether it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, because I've not managed and I've really missed that.
Would you go back into management now if an opportunity relevant?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Would you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's
just in you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in you, and I think I was cut out to do it. Do you know what I'm saying?
You had a great career in management.
Well, yeah, it's about getting the best out of people and knowing when to change a side, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Either picking the team or making a decision on during the match, taking players off.
Yeah.
And I see so many of them in this technical area. I think they should ban that technical area, honest to God, posing in the technical areas, these managers now. And it's always when the ball comes...
Is always there, isn't he? Well, just reading.
Well, he's not on his own, is he? But whenever the ball comes over to the to this side of the pitch, the manager seems to get more animated and start signalling. And
I like Ancelotti. He's a cool character in the technical area, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, but he's old-fashioned, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't like it, and I don't. The only way you can change a game as a manager is by making a substitution, basically, or waiting for half time and getting them in the dressing room and telling them what you want. You can't control it when the game's going on. The
work's been done. The week, the prep team.
Well, it's supposed to have been done, and you've also got 11 subs sat on the bench if you want to make a change. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't control what they're doing on the pitch while the game's going on. It's ridiculous. I think it's embarrassing for some people.
What do you think of today's game now compared to what it was back when you were playing, Mike?
Well, I think they've got athletes now, and there's no one playing with injuries or slight injuries or whatever.
Go off with any little niggle now, don't they?
I think I'm not enjoying it, watching it as much as I did before I was a player and when I was a player. Yeah. It's almost like keep ball now, and they're getting a pat on the back. They're getting a pat on the back for keeping the ball and completed passes and nonsense statistics like you haven't given and young kids, they're going to them at the end of the game and they're saying brilliant 100% pass completion. The lad might be playing at right back or left back and he's never given the ball away, but whenever he's got it from the centre half or the goalkeeper, he's give it straight back to the goalkeeper or the centre half. It's gone out the other way. Yeah. It's because he knows that if he knocks it up the line, he might give it away. And I don't know what they're trying to do. I really don't know what they're trying to do. Haaland, who's obviously phenomenal, the goals he scored, he must be the most patient person in the world.
Don't touch the ball
because he never touches the ball, and he's going across and across, and it's not coming forward, and it's not going out to the wingers or the midfielders, and I would hate to be playing up front now. On my own.
Patience.
I think the other type of player you were, the way you once a winger, you would be fit with a front three now, I'd say. In today's game, you'd fit perfectly in a front three that they play now.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching PSG. You know, because it's like going back in time when you see PSG on the telly, and that game they played the other week against Bayern Munich. It was a one-off, wasn't it? Yeah, up and down, yeah. But all they do is they pass it forward.
Yeah.
And then that Georgian fella, I can't say his name. It starts with a K.
Or something like that.
It starts with a K and ends in a K, I think. No, it does. But yeah, he's phenomenal. And I seen him live at Anfield 18 months ago or something, and when you see them in the flesh, it's even better. Do you know what I mean? And he would go like that, and then bang forward, and they know he's going forward, and it makes such a difference when teams pass the ball forward. You know, when I was a kid at Liverpool, you used to play two touch, and basically they're saying, when you receive it, make sure you're in a position to pass it forward. That's what they're teaching you. And now they're obsessed with pass completion, and it's destroying the game. It really is. That's not the only stat that they're destroying it with. You know what I mean? It's frustration. It's frustrating for me to watch it. You know. Yeah. But that's just because I'm getting old.
No, not so. But thank you. What a career.
What a career.
What a career, mate. Honestly, it's been a privilege.
We're going to today.
If it's right, we're going to finish with some quick fire questions.
Yeah, of course.
Who's your best friend in football?
I'm not sure I've got it. Best friend, I'd probably say Sheeds and Snods, Ian Snodden at Everton, and Kevin Sheedy, because I've always kept in touch with them, and Kevin's been assistant manager to me at times, you know. Brian Steen as well. I mean, Brian's not particularly well at the moment, which is bad, but you know, good lads and really loyal to you. There's one fella you know as well, Norman Whiteside. He never forgets his mates, and if I am actually a mate of his, but top. No, he's brilliant. Yeah.
Funniest person in football you've met?
Gascoigne.
Biggest regret?
Oh, not leaving Luton to go and manage a couple of the teams that I could have done, like Derby. Derby particularly. I should have gone to Derby at the time. There was Ipswich came in as well, which is a great club, and they always give you time, or they always seem to give managers time. But Derby was probably the one. I was so happy as manager of Luton, and I wanted to continue. And we were going through a little bit of a sticky period, and I wanted to get out of that, you know. But if I look back now, it was the time to go. It was, you know, Derby was a big opportunity.
It's a big club, yeah.
Best player you played against?
Well, that's hard, because, like back in the day, Arsenal, Tony Adams and Steve Bold, you know, they were big lads. Yeah. But as I was saying to you before, when you're playing in good sides with Shearer and McCarthy and Graham Sharp, people, you can compete against them. They were footballers as well as centre halves, you know. Them lads. That's why they're playing for Arsenal. So I'd probably say, probably say Tony Adams and Bold. Yeah.
Favourite ground to go to? Or favourite ground you played at?
Anfield.
Favourite goal you ever scored?
Anfield.
Is it?
Yeah.
My favourite is the one you scored at Chelsea in 92-93, when you kind of...
The cross.
Yeah. He said, if you look at the angle, you meant that. There was no one in the box.
Yeah, Chelsea. That was. I'm going to be very honest with you here. That was a cross.
Told you.
I was right.
That was a cross. Yeah.
But there was no one in the box.
Oh, there was one I scored against Derby in the playoffs, and we were 2-0 down. we got back to 2-1, and then I scored the equaliser against Derby. That was probably one of the favourite. Yeah.
Final on my side. With a five-a-side team with you in it, you've got to pick a keeper. Who would you have in a five-a-side? Who would the other 4 players be?
Oh, well, no disrespect to Mimsy or Tim Flowers or any of the keepers I played with, but Southall would be in goal,
Yeah.
Strong.
Oh, he could edit out, honestly. He used to, in training, he used to say, right, I won't use my arms now, and then he'd throw himself on. He's a lunatic, obviously, but he was the best goalkeeper in the world at the time, yeah. So,
who would the other 3 be then?
Wow, that's hard, that, because I played with that many people. We'd have to have Shearer. I'd have to say Shearer, and then I would go on about Graham Sharp a lot and Mick Harford and that Steenie, but Shearer, because he just every time you give him it, he just bang it at the goal. You know what I mean?
Solid, isn't he?
Yeah. 2 more.
Yeah.
Or 3 more.
2 more. So we've got Neville Southall in goal. We've got you and Shearer up front.
Am I playing?
You're playing.
See, I'd never get in this.
You have to play, yeah.
So who are we going to have behind him?
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to be. I played with some good, like Mal Donaghy was brilliant at Luton with Steve Foster. He was a proper man mountain. I'd probably put Fozzie in it because he could play up front as well. Steve Foster. He was. I'd put Fozzie in there. Yeah.
And then we've got one more space.
Gascoigne.
Cool.
There you
Not
go.
bad, is it?
I'm cheating a bit there because I only played with him in the England B team and stuff like that. But
squeeze it in there,
he's just a genius.
No. I've got a few.
Did they put Sheedy in? Or would kill me?
You'd have to
take yourself out, mate.
We'll take you out then.
We'll take you out. Put him in.
Right.
I've got a few more. Just a couple quick ones, mate. Favourite sport outside of football?
Well, cricket, because I
weren't bad, were you?
I was all right. 16, 17. I had a half a chance, but I loved the cricket. Yeah.
Favourite club you played for?
That put me on the spot there. Yeah, I'll have to say Blackburn because of the 5 years that we had. It was phenomenal. But I loved all of them.
Yeah, of course. Hardest man in football?
Oh.
Played with a couple big strikers.
I see the hard ones are the ones that don't go round trying to be hard.
Yeah, the quiet ones that you want to watch.
Yeah, I got an elbow off. Crikey, what's his name? You'll not get this. He was playing centre half for Ipswich at the time.
Oh, do you mean John Walk?
John Walk, yeah. Sorry, John. No. As I was saying about getting your elbows up and all the rest of it, I got a right thump off him one day. Oh, yes, solid. And he was playing centre half.
Cool.
And his normal position was like centre midfield, wasn't it? But yeah, solid, yeah.
Better feeling winning as a player or a manager?
But you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, and I think it's manager.
Really?
I really do, yeah.
Really?
Albie said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's more responsibility on you, I think.
More weight on the shoulders.
More weight on your shoulders. And I used to drive away, from grounds, when we were playing at, when I was at Luton and whatever, and I'd wait till it was out of sight and I'd like scream, yeah, get in.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, you did. It was, I think it was probably as a manager, yeah.
Last question. Best piece of advice you've been given in football?
Quite deep, these questions, aren't they, Mike?
Yeah, sorry. I've finished deep. Sorry, yeah.
You put me on the spot here, don't you? Believe in yourself, I think. That's...
Yeah.
Didn't Bill Shankly give you some advice?
Well, he did, yeah. Exactly that. Keep believing in yourself, trust yourself. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah,
Come from
and he was like, he was a legend, and I was only like 13 at the time. You know, shook my hand, nearly broke my hand. Yeah, proper fella him. Yeah,
brilliant. Well, Mike, thank you so much. Really lovely to meet you. I was watching you when I was growing up.
Time,
so
Mike.
thank you.
Cheers.